I've told you guys before that I've worked with big companies like Microsoft, Dell, Cisco, Kohler, Yelp. But I thought I would talk a little bit about landing big clients like that and how I landed them, exactly how I landed them, exactly what they were interested in, and go use this. I mean, if you're a marketer or you're an agency, that's fine. If you're a brand, you might consider that some of these things that they went for might be something you might be interested too in doing in your own way. So let's set the Wayback Machine. And this is a model really for getting big clients, which is having them come to you. So the first clients I had, I used to be a pretty well-known author in the Microsoft enterprise space. So I was like a Windows guy. I'm a Mac guy now, but have been for 20 years. But back then I was like a Windows guy and I wrote books and I wrote for the number one magazine in the space. And because of that, and anytime you get yourself in a position of notoriety like that, you're going to be able to write your own ticket because people, they're interested in you writing about them. So with the help of a business coach, I came up with an idea one day where I was basically a kind of a Geppetto in the shop, cobbling out like local IT consulting, but not really making a lot of money. And meanwhile, I was speaking all over the world and writing books and but not monetizing it in any way. And so myself and this business consultant came up with this idea to basically when I get these press junket type pitches on Fridays that I would say, "Hey, I'm actually going to be writing a book on exactly what you guys do, and I was just wondering if you'd be interested in the possibility of being the exclusive sponsor." Oh yes, yes, I would. That'd be awesome. Anyway, it blew up. It was $1 million business in the first year, which is incredible. Just under a million in the first year. But the point of it was that it was an innovative concept for content with me introducing them to myself and other authors that were experts that they were dying to have know them and write about them and be interested in their products and the software industry has a lot of money so that was helpful too. But anyway, we came up with online real-time published, that was the name of the company, Real Time Publishers, ebooks that were published in real time that were lead generation programs. And so I used to be an author and a publisher, but I actually became a marketer. And somebody had to tell me that. I didn't know I was a marketer until somebody told me. They're like, yeah, you do lead gen. I'm like, okay. Anyway, lots of companies in that space were interested. HP was a customer. I mean, I could go on and on. If you go to the Real Time Publishers site, you can see it's been owned by somebody else since 2005, but you can see all the list of sponsors that are on there. Tons of companies were interested in that, small, large, medium. Anyway, innovative content, innovative marketing programs that were getting their name associated with people that they wanted to be have a coolness factor next to and be thought of as like a thought leader and so forth. When I got out of that business and I sold that, I tried to bring that into kind of the environmental space, like all the brands you see in Whole Foods. I tried to like come to those guys early on during the green movement back in the early 2000s. Did not have the same budgets, but I did get Kohler Corporation, who is the largest like plumbing company in the world. Got them interested, and they did like a six-figure um, project where I built them a custom website and a podcast. So it was like custom publishing projects, or what these are called. And so really, the other ones at the RTP were also custom publishing. But essentially, what you're doing in this case is you're creating a content portal. In this case, a website plus a podcast. It was called Blue Living Ideas for anybody who cares, and it was on water conservation, which is a huge initiative for them. Now, I knew that was a huge initiative for them. I had already done Green Living Ideas, which was its own standing on its own 2 feet. It was a blog and a podcast that I did. So I took and I said, hey, I'm going to create a new one and they'll be my launch partner. I was able to launch that business because of their sponsorship, which is again 6 figures. So that was pretty cool because I was able to launch a new property with a major corporate sponsor behind it. Years later, I got Yelp as a customer just based on somebody that I talked to who worked with somebody who was a general manager for Yelp, and they knew of me. So, like at this point, you're sort of your fame and your momentum builds on itself because basically, it's the hardest client to get. And it's a big client is the first one. After that, you can always point to those other clients and say, "Well, I've worked with so and so." If you're smart, that's what you'll do, and you'll be able to rate your own ticket from there on out. It's going to make it much easier. So Yelp, I ended up doing LinkedIn campaign. I can't really go into details, but I'll just say I worked with them in terms of organic outreach on LinkedIn with their sales team. For Cisco, I ended up doing uh, kind of like PR work, but it was like kind of a combination between SEO and PR work for a major high-end executive in the company who wanted more public recognition of his notoriety, and in the right places. So we built out a campaign to get some really high quality links and mentions in various places, and that went very well. For each of these companies, the the things were not things I could ever duplicate or replicate because they were very one-off. Like, when you're gonna work with large brands, you need to really build things that are fitting them like a glove. The more you know about their initiatives and the more you know about what they're trying to get done, the more you can help them. And then you, as a small, scrappy little upstart publisher, marketer, whatever you are, can build and should build customized marketing programs that fit them like a glove. Because you have people in these corporations that have mandates to promote certain initiatives. And when you can show up with something that exactly fits what they're trying to do and is very flexible and gives them exactly what they want, maybe things they couldn't have even dreamed of, they're going to listen to you. So there's still lots of opportunities out there. And in this new world that we're in, they won't look like the ones I did before, but you can certainly imagine some things, I'm sure. And or use AI to help you develop them with those types of approaches. Because guess what? They have new quarterly objectives, goals. It's always changing and there's always a new need. So don't be scared to go after the big guys. Innovative marketing programs are always in need because so many people out there are just doing things that are stale without any creative thought, and they're often doomed to failure.